Well, hello, my fantastic Nextgen fam. How is everyone doing today? Welcome to yet another episode of Live with Nextgen HQ. But this one, as you can probably tell, is going to be a little bit different from all of the other weeks, and I'm so excited to tell you why. I hope you're having a great Thursday so far, that you are coming from far and wide over to everything that we're doing in the Nextgen HQ world, because it's all for you to make sure that you feel supported, you feel comforted, you feel loved, and momentous on your entrepreneurial journey. So thanks so much for diving in. And today is a really special version of Live with Nextgen HQ, and it is simply because we are exactly 1 week, 7 days away from NGS at Home. If there's anyone here who doesn't know what that is, first off, where have you been? I'm sorry that you've missed out on all of these details. Secondly, we want all of you to be able to come and experience this with us. It was a really interesting situation to have to be able to kind of say goodbye to Nextgen Summit 2020 that was going to happen in June and figure out how can we step up for our community? How can we continue to gather together, share momentum, share different resources that you all need along your journeys? And a virtual summit experience was exactly the answer that we had for you. So that is why we're so excited for NGS at Home to be officially 1 week away, because it is everything wonderful about the summit experience and that secret one-of-a-kind flair that you get when you're there brought to the digital landscape for you. So from the comfort of your home, from your laptop, from your mobile phone, whatever platform works best for you, we are going to be hitting you live from 11 a.m. EST to right around 6 p.m. EST next Thursday. So this live webinar today is to get you excited. It's to get you ready, and it's to make sure that you have your tickets and you're ready for so much momentum coming up in exactly a week. It's not going to just be me today chatting you through all of the details of NGS at Home. I definitely could talk long enough by myself for 45 minutes, but this one's going to be even more special today because we have some beautiful people, community members, and a team member joining us to discuss everything Nextgen, how they found momentum on their journeys, how Nextgen has played a role in that, and then about how they're each being involved in NGS at Home in very different ways. So I am going to kick it on over and get everyone on the screen. I'm so excited to introduce you, or maybe reintroduce you for many of you, to the lovely Andrew Feinstein, who is a member of the Nextgen HQ team. You've seen his face, you know him. The fantastic Sophie Barron. She is the founder of The Conversationalist and a lovely human being and gem of a Nextgener, as well as I can say that he is famous because he's definitely famous in Nextgen HQ world, Paul Mcneil, who is the creator of the Crypto Curator and has done just so many fantastic things when it comes to building community, talking technology, and really paving the path for so many entrepreneurs. Let's get all these lovely people on the screen. Hi!
Hi, everyone.
I am so excited to have all of you here. I don't know if anyone can tell that I'm just like beaming. It's because it's some of my favorite people come to life. It's the community in just the best way it possibly is.
Rachel, thank you for the kindest intro.
Yeah, same. Thank you.
I do try. You know, you guys are my heart and soul, so I'm going to introduce you with as much flair or as little flair as you'd like me to.
Love it.
I want Paul's intro next time. His was awesome.
Oh my God. Well, on that note, how about we do quick, like rapid fire introductions of each of you, because you can give us the really good juicy stuff. So Andrew, you kick us off. Who is AF? And for those of you who don't know, that is Andrew's nickname that we call him in Nextgen land.
That's a great question. It's definitely not an easy one. Who is AF? But that's my initials in case people were confused by the nicknaming premise. But I'm the director of partnerships here at the amazing Nextgen HQ and having a blast. I'm so happy to be here with some amazing people today.
He's also an author and a mindfulness expert. Just to be wondering, everyone.
Nice.
Sophie, how about you?
Hi, everyone. I'm Sophie Barron. I am a unifier from Wichita, Kansas. I live in New York City, but now with the pandemic, I'm home in Wichita. And like Rachel shared, I'm the founder and CEO of The Conversationalist.
And there's a quiet shout out to Rich Keller that just went down in there with that one-word unifier. I love it. How about you, Paul?
Hey, everybody. My name is Paul Mcneil. I am the crypto curator. It's a exciting industry, digital assets, blockchain technology, but I've been involved with it since 2011, and probably, almost as long as I've been involved in the community itself.
Paul is 100% without a doubt our longest standing community member. He is basically on Justin and Dylan level as far as his experiences with Nextgen go. Amazing. So to get everyone, including all of you viewers at home, really comfortable and on the same page, we're going to do a little bit of a Nextgen HQ tradition. I think you all have done this in some form along the way, but these are rapid fire questions. Everyone watching, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments or wherever the comments might be on your screen. We're gonna start with an easy one, just to ease everyone in. And we'll go in order of Paul, Sophie, and then Andrew. So shout it out. Coffee or tea?
Coffee, by far. Super coffee, as a matter of fact.
Coffee.
100% coffee.
This is a coffee crew right here.
Yes. And Rachel, I've been enjoying your daily coffee snapshots on social, so thank you. It reminds me to get my daily cup.
Thank you. There we go. I will continue to do them just for you. What is your spirit animal?
Wow, mine would have to be lion.
Giraffe.
Unpopular opinion, but armadillo, tough exterior, soft on the inside.
Nice. I love that. How about if you had one food that best conveys your personality?
Wow, people won't agree with this one, but that's okay. But it's got to be McDonald's. Listen, I love to see you smile.
That was so good. I'm having a hard time getting meta with these questions, but I'm gonna go with pizza because I feel like it's so good. I don't know.
Horrible. You are so good. That's why.
This is definitely not an easy one. Maybe can I go Chick-fil-A? Is that okay? As a vegan?
Wait, you said as a vegan?
I'm just a fan, man. I like what they're rocking with.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. And if you could vacation anywhere in the world, maybe not during a time like we're currently in, where would that place be?
That's going to be a tough. I'm not a big vacationer, but put me in Hawaii. Listen, I spent 4 years in Hawaii when I was in the Navy. I'll go back to Hawaii.
That was a great answer. I also rarely vacation, so I want to get as far away as possible, probably somewhere like Bora Bora, where you can't reach me, to disconnect for sure.
Vacation's all about the people, so I gotta join Paul in Hawaii. And
nice.
Let's go.
We all just have like a Nextgen international or national retreat somewhere beachy and getting away from our laptops, do the whole digital nomad thing for a little bit.
Absolutely.
I love that. Also, everyone is in the comments saying pizza is the winner. So Sophie,
yes, honored.
Look at you.
And Andrew, apparently you're a big softie from your fan, Christian Young.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's true. Can't deny it.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for doing that. It's been a Nextgen HQ tradition for quite a while to do something as simple as rapid fires, but as big as supporting entrepreneurs along their journey. And that's why I think we're all very excited for what's to come next week for NGS at Home. And we'll dive into all of the specifics and all the details later. But I think it's such a great place to start from the beginning. I know for a fact, and Justin and Dylan can share the story, that so many people ask them, like, how do you do it? How have you been able to get some of the speakers that you can get? What has that journey looked like? And their answer is always, we've been doing this. We've been doing this for 5-6 years now. It's been a process of getting to this point. But here we are with our first ever digital event. But how about we kick it back to the very beginning, the beginning of each of your journeys with Nextgen, and even just kind of on your entrepreneurial journey itself, because it is such a beautiful thing we all have in common. So I need to kick it over to the man, Paul, to kind of dive in and share. Paul, what was your first experience with Nextgen? Was that somehow maybe even tied to the beginning of your entrepreneurial journey? And is that kind of what brought you to Austin, Texas for this little thing you heard about?
Yeah, I was online Twitter, no surprise to anyone that knows me, and it was Felix Hartman that had tweeted out something about Nextgen, and so I reached out to him. I was like, "Hey, what's this whole Nextgen thing about?" And he said it was a bunch of millennial entrepreneurs getting together. At the time, I was a brand evangelist for a company called Inigo. It's a digital business card app. So I got the idea in my head, like, I wonder if that generation would want to deal with digital business cards. So I literally flew down to Austin to attend this conference that I had no idea what it was. I got there, and I'm telling you, it blew me away. I was shocked. It was about 200 people in attendance. The people they had on stage speaking were phenomenal. Jonathan Bender from the Pacers, Miss West Virginia, Shark Tank winners, Peter Thiel Fellows. I mean, like, I'm like, what is going on? And the people at the table were just as qualified to be on stage. So I'm like, okay, something is weird about this community. I got to figure it out. So I got a chance to meet Justin and Dylan, talked with them over the weekend. It was a lot of fun. So I told them, I said, hey, guys, listen. I said, I'm not a millennial, as you can probably tell. I say, but here's what I want to do. You want to crash the party. Let me come to all your conferences, and I'll prepay to get in. How I wish I would have, because it was a steal, $99. So yeah, so that was my first engagement. That was back in 2013. I haven't stopped coming ever since. And so here I am, still here.
So 2013, and you started your entrepreneurial journey as far as building your own brand, your own company.
Mm-hmm.
What would that have been?
Yeah, it was around 2010, actually. So I was with a company before. It was Intuition. We were a news aggregation company. We curated most of the news for Capitol Hill and Fortune 500 companies. And as I made my exit after 8 years being with the company, so I then decided I was going to start my own consulting company. I did that. I've done a whole bunch of other things ever since, but then I'm the curator now. So, but yeah, it's sort of at the beginning.
I love that. You are a curator of people and experiences and love all around. And thank goodness. Shout out Felix Hartman. Hopefully you get to watch this. We'll make sure someone comments him in the comments for being the reason that Paul is in our life. And to the many other people you mentioned, Christian Leonard, you were at the first ever summit, I believe. Many a person there.
Yes.
I love that. Sophie, is it a similar experience for you that you were introduced to Nextgen through an event, or did it happen before an event?
So it happened before an event. My first Nextgen event ever was in the fall of 2018 in Philly, but I had heard all about it because I knew Justin from Penn and was so inspired by all that he did. We oftentimes saw each other at frat parties, and I just had to see what this whole Nextgen community was about. And so I was able to attend Nextgen Philly, and that's where I feel like the momentum first began for me within the Nextgen community. But my entrepreneurial journey started a little bit before then, and I'm just so grateful for where Nextgen has taken me.
I love that. I made that face when you mentioned that because I forgot that was when I even met you. Was that first event that year? That feels like a lifetime ago. So right? How is that possible?
Wild. I'm so grateful that I went.
Give us the insider scoop. What was Justin like in college?
Oh my gosh. I mean, Justin's just the nicest guy you'll ever meet. I have nothing crazy to share. I was just so grateful that I met him and that our circles kind of combined, and I'm just so grateful for where I am now, because had I not, I just think of those moments, right? Like maybe when I met him for the first time, had I not been in the right place at the right time, I would not be where I am today. And I really feel that way about Nextgen. And there's always that story. It all links back to Rich Keller in some way, right? Like at the end of the day at Nextgen Philly, I was there to promote my nonprofit at the time, Table Talk, and connect with people and share about what we were working on. And at the end of the day, it was in Philly. I wanted to go meet up with some friends, and I was rushing out to leave at the end of the day. And Justin grabbed me and said, Sophie, before you leave, you have to go downstairs and meet my man, Rich Keller. You won't regret it. He's going to change your life. You have to go right now. And had Justin not blocked me at the door or came over at that right moment, I wouldn't have started my new company or be where I am today. So I'm just so grateful for those little moments of momentum that I would have never had it not been for Nextgen. So just super humbled and grateful to be a part of this community.
This is so special. You guys are going to make me tear up. Especially when I go back to watch this. There is something just so special, right, about the community. Every single person who's in it, they somehow get it, like immediately upon entering the community. It's just that not only do I want to succeed on my journey, I want people around me to succeed as well.
Totally. I couldn't agree
Really
more.
appreciate is that for Justin, when I attended in Austin, and this was the very first one, and I attended, it was so the format would be that you would do some fun activities when you first get there, and there would be sort of like a social afterwards. It was at that social that Justin comes up to me. Of course, I didn't know him, he didn't know me, and so he says, "Hey," he says, "Who are you? What are you about? Who do you want to meet?" And so I was telling him, give him my little spiel, whatever. He says, "Okay." He says, "I have 3 people I need to introduce you. Make sure that you grab me and I introduce you to them." Got to Sunday and I sort of forgot about it because people tell you that, but they don't mean it. But he meant it. He comes up to me, he grabs me, he goes, "Dude," he goes, "what gives?" He goes, "You were supposed to have me connect you with these 3 people." He goes, "Come here." So he runs around, he grabs me, introduces me to Jonathan Bender, and there was a couple other people he introduced me to. He's like, "You guys need to talk." He is phenomenal at that. I'm talking off the charts. I'm like, this is crazy. It's good.
Major love to Justin going on right now, and Dylan too, because they come in a lovely pair.
They do.
Always. Well, you're right. There's something magic about that moment, right? Whether it's Justin, Dylan, someone from the Nextgen HQ team there telling you that they want to connect you with the resources, mentorship, and knowledge of where you need to go. It's just, you feel that energy. But I'm so excited to see how that translates to NGS at Home this year, but definitely missing that in person.
We are too. But Andrew, you are one of these special people that Sophie is talking about, being so magic at connecting people and bringing that energy and that warmth to the table. But what was your magic moment when it came to knowing about Nextgen, getting introduced? What was that story like for you?
Yeah, no, thanks, Rach. I don't know how I follow these up. These are phenomenal stories. Funnily enough, I think I've lived my whole life 10 minutes away from Justin. And we just met like less than a year ago. So funny how stuff like that happens. But I know he's dealing with some power outages, crazy stuff out here in Long Island. So hope everybody else is staying safe. But for me, the magic really came not at an event, not like via some tweet, not via having a relationship. But I was sitting with a buddy of mine from high school, Ian De Silva. I bet he's watching. If not, get his name in the comments. But I was just talking to him about what I wanted to do with my life. I had this huge passion for meditation and mindfulness that I was seeing through. I was working at a small meditation startup in New York City, and I still was kind of unhappy with where I was. And I'm just sitting here kind of venting to Ian, and he goes, "Dude, you have to meet Dylan Gambardella." And I was like, no idea who that is. And he's like, "He's this buddy I went to Duke with. You have to meet him. You got to check out what they're doing." He sent me the website. I was like, I don't know. I don't know if this is for me. And he put us in touch via text. He was adamant that I meet Dylan. And I remember I literally texted Dylan. I said they were open for a position, but I hit him with, "I'd love to just be able to chat about life. I've got no objective. I don't really want to work for you. I just want to be able to chat about life." And January 13th, 2020, before the world turned on its head, Dylan and I met Gregory's Coffee on 33rd, and that's all she wrote.
Love Gregory's on 33rd.
In the comments.
I love that. Again, just like so many moments of word of mouth and community members being like, "Hey, are you involved in this? Hey, do you know about this?" And here we are. I feel like every single one of us became a part of Nextgen because of experiences like that. That's also very similar to my experience of how I learned about Nextgen in the first place too.
That's awesome.
So kind of shifting a little bit forward now, because of course we know that what we're all here about is momentum. Y'all, if you didn't know this, hit up Rich Keller to learn what your one word is, both your personal one word and or your company's, depending upon what kind of role you're at. So we know that everything about Justin Dylan Nextgen HQ is momentum, and that's the value that this team also kind of lives on. But Paul, Sophie, Andrew, whoever wants to jump in first, what does momentum actually look like for you in your day-to-day as an entrepreneur?
For me, what it looks like is it's the embodiment of the word momentum, right? It's that moving forward continually. And again, this is something that I've experienced in the Nextgen community, is that continual moving forward. again, starting in 2013 when I was there the first time, and every successive year after that, I've seen nothing but forward momentum, forward progress. Like I said, the first year was like 200 folks. The next year, I think it was like maybe 600 folks. The next year, like 800 folks. I mean, in one of the conferences, I was like, hey, we got to get this to 1,000. And of course, we make it there. So I'm like, this is crazy. So that's what it looks like. And for me personally, and I tell Justin Dillon this, they might not get it, but just the fact of who they are and what they do, it keeps me moving forward. Like, you can't help but move forward when you're connected with those guys. So yeah, forward movement.
That was such a good answer. I think for me, something that I have learned from the realm of personal branding and imbuing your value into all that you do is that when you are a part of an organization or a movement or a brand that really encompasses that one value, you attract people who are also drawn to that value. So I found that in my life as an entrepreneur, I've actually taken aspects of Nextgen's momentum, I feel like, to my own community. And at the Conversationalist, we're all about empowering Gen Z to have conversations that matter and amplify voices, break the echo chamber. And so similarly to Rachel, like the role that you serve in facilitating that momentum and connecting people with the right resources that they need to move forward in their careers, I've found myself even trying to embody that and emulate that within the Conversationalist community. So I guess just a really small story to share is we started hosting these panels with Gen Z voices at the forefront to really talk about the biggest issues facing our generation. And immediately in the aftermath, after Ahmaud Arbery's murder and Drejon Reed's murders, we hosted a panel with 7 incredible Black youth activists. And after that panel and bringing them together and facilitating that momentum to have that dialogue, share their opinions and their perspectives, a few of the panelists actually went on to form their own organization where they're continuing to fight for the reform of, the police system in our country. And they wrote a legislative bill together and hosted protests around the country. And so I find that being a part of the Nextgen community has actually meant translating that momentum that I've gotten from Nextgen to my own world and my own community as well, to keep facilitating that momentum for these young change makers to connect with like-minded people to create that impact.
I absolutely love what both of you guys are saying. I think when I think of momentum, I don't know why this is the first image that came to mind, but it's like my 4:55 a.m. alarm. Like, I feel like it's like the momentum is what spring shots you out of bed and makes you say, yes, I don't care if it's still dark out. I don't care if I slept 3 hours. I'm ready to attack the day because there's this wind at your back that pushes you forward, as Paul was saying. And then there's also this force that makes you take action. It's not just talking, it's not just saying things, but you actually do stuff. Like you were saying, Sophie, you take action, you create change. I think momentum is what gets me out of bed in the morning and makes me want to keep attacking the day. And I think if people don't have that, if you don't feel like you can get out of bed in the morning, then you're not finding the momentum you need, and you should be here. And if you're already here, stay here more, because we'll give you more.
Couldn't agree more.
Exactly. Wow. Yeah.
We have people in the comments right now loving that. Matthew Curtis shouting out this idea of the translation of energy. And that's what kind of momentum comes down to, taking this energy and creating change from it, whatever that change, whatever that impact looks like for you. I think that's one of the most beautiful things about everyone at Nextgen. Everyone has a different story. They have a different background. They have a different purpose for doing and creating and building. But the beauty of that is that when we all come together over that common goal of creating change, that's when things happen. And that's when momentum, you can really feel it.
100%. And sometimes it's intangible, right? Like sometimes, since we are disconnected right now, we're all in our homes. I think it's so important, Andrew, what you shared, that momentum can sometimes just be something that you feel inside of yourself, or that you get from, without that in-person connection, because momentum can be translated everywhere. And I definitely felt that from Nextgen during the pandemic. So just shout out to the team for continuing to curate and facilitate that, even though we lack that human connection right now.
Right.
But speaking on that note, and it seems a good time to dive in, because talking about intangible and this current situation that we find ourselves in, it feels like NGS at Home fits kind of perfectly into this conversation. Again, we're taking something that was in person. It was these human touchable connections that you're making on. It's the hugs and the handshakes that you can give. And we're taking all of that and we're pushing it into a virtual realm with NGS at Home next week. And believe me, guys, we've been working quietly on this in the background. You know, like everyone knows little bits of everything that's going on, but no one sees the full picture, the full experience that is coming next Thursday. And if you don't have your ticket, we'll make sure that the info is in the comments for you to go and grab it. But Andrew, I'd love for you to kind of start us off. There's some really unique things going on with speakers, with some fantastic sponsors that we have involved. But what do you think, in your best way to describe NGS at Home, how would you do it?
I think first we just have to get it out there, and it was in the comments early on, but NGS at Home is going to change the game. I think we're living in a different world now, a world where in-person events, we're not sure when they're going to come back. So we can't rely on this as, you know, a thing that takes the place of that. But we need to make it its own entity, its own feeling of, hey, we have NGS at Home because it's so nice to not have to travel somewhere. It's nice to be able to sit down at my desk and be able to talk to people I want. It's nice to be able to build those relationships even behind a screen. And I think, you know, interestingly enough, it's turned out that a lot of people have been having more meetings, talking to more people during this time because they just think more about it, about being behind the screen, about talking to people. So NGS at Home is going to change the game. In my mind, if you want to be successful, if like you want to live a life that you're proud of, if you want that momentum to get out of bed at 4:45 in the morning, NGS at Home is where you need to be. If you're not here, I don't know what you're doing. You know, this is the place where, whether it's a speaker session, whether it's a community chat, whether it's being able to connect with an amazing mentor like Paul Mcneil, or be able to get inspired by, you know, open dialogue with Sophie and her team. I think there's so much that this can offer you. And if you're not here, what are you doing with your Thursday? I mean, come on. We got to get everybody here. This is the momentum they need. 4:45 a.m. One day at this event, I promise you, you're spring shotting out of bed every day.
There we go. And the good thing about this momentum is, even if you want to grab a ticket and maybe you can't make all of the sessions that you wanted to throughout the day, good thing you're going to have access to all of the content afterwards, right? Momentum keeps on going.
Nice.
It's too much. It's like an IV of momentum straight to the vein.
Paul, I have a question for you.
Yes.
What is one of your favorite parts about summits that you've been to, NGSs that you've been to in the past?
Yeah. One of the favorite parts is, and this is what I think is so great about NGS at Home, is that it's actually making those connections with new people that you might have never crossed paths with. This community have some of the richest people in it. And I don't mean that like money rich, I mean quality rich. And the good thing about NGS at Home is that even if I'm not there in person to do what you said, the handshakes and the hugs, which I enjoy and love, you still have the ability to connect with them and build that relationship across the miles. And I'll tell you, from someone who did this with that company in Ego, I hadn't met those guys for 3 whole years and finally met them in person. It was like we were best friends for life. This is what I'm looking for with NGS at Home, is that I can meet more people and eventually coming back together. And when we do, it's going to be a party.
It is. But Paul, do you mind? And then Sophie, I'll have you jump in on this, because you two fantastic people are two of the reasons why NGS at Home is happening, with something very unique. And Andrew mentioned it before, community chats. Paul and Sophie, you guys are leading some of those. So tell us kind of how that's bringing some of that summit energy to life in the virtual realm.
Yeah, it's going to bring it to life because, again, I get the opportunity to lead one of those chats, and I'm going to talk to people, share information with them that they probably need and that they want, and hopefully some kind of way even inspire them to do something they wouldn't. As Andrew said, listen, by being in this community, I promise you, you're going to eject yourself out of the bed because of the energy associated with it. And I want to get that through my chat sessions with them, is to share it, have that mind meld, share that knowledge back and forth. And I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of help out of leading that chat. So I definitely appreciate the opportunity.
Love it. I think for me, I'm all about the little moments. Like if we were in a speaker session and you lean over to someone and share something you've learned, or a single connection that you've made where maybe you start having an accountability call with them every month after the summit, like the opportunities are endless. And so for me, I'm so excited about the community chats because I feel like we're going to be able to cultivate more of those little moments in a smaller group setting, and really aligning people with their passions, where we're bringing people together from all around the country and the world, but also aligning on certain areas that we're passionate about. So I'm really excited. Definitely going to be hosting a fun session all about the future of content, which is definitely an ever-changing landscape right now in an increasingly digitized world. But I completely agree that this is the moment to start curating those more one-on-one relationships. So I'm really excited to cultivate some of those moments within the community chats.
I am so excited. Raise your hand, and all of you watching at home, raise your hand too along with this if you've ever been to a Nextgen Summit themed dinner before. Andrew, we're gonna make it happen.
Yes. I was just ready to raise my hand for whatever you said, but I don't think
everyone who just raised your hand or nodded your head and you're like, yep, I've been to one of those. That is exactly what the community chats are, except in a digital realm. So imagine the most fantastic, mind-blowing Zoom chats with individuals like Paul and Sophie leading these conversations that are meant to just make you feel so fantastic. Make sure to bring your coffee, whatever you might be drinking at that time of day, and you're just going to be able to connect with a ton of other attendees, with other community members, and really just kind of talk about that shared love of whatever you're doing and whatever, of course, topic and theme is going to be shared with you. All those details to be released over the coming few days, just to kind of slowly get you more and more amped for what's to come.
Amazing. And I'm so glad you brought up themed dinners, because that's definitely what I was thinking about. Last year, I was so lucky to have hosted one, and I think I'm still in touch with every single person from that dinner, and people who have also become really close friends, like Ashley Olafson, Christian Leonard. It was really that in-person feeling of connection that I'm so excited to replicate through the community chats. So I'm so happy you brought that up.
That is exactly what they're for. So community chats is just one part of the programming that you're going to be able to see. We have another, and it's a ton of fantastic, inspiring people for breakout sessions, keynote speakers, all of that fun stuff. Paul, do you know who our main keynote is for NGS at Home?
I actually do. It's going to be none other than Ray Dalio, the man. Holy moly.
The man. We're going to have Ray Dalio on stage, on a digital stage, connecting with all of our Nextgeners and all of the attendees in a live conversation format. If you ever wanted to ask Ray Dalio a question, this is going to be the spot to make that happen. Same goes for Scott Harrison, who is the founder of Charity Water, with a fantastic story. Don't look up the story. Don't read into who Scott is. Get your ticket to NGS at Home, and you can hear him tell it to you directly from there. There's one other keynote, and I'm going to let Andrew take this away and let him give us some more details as far as how that came about as well.
Ooh, I don't know if they're ready for it, Rach. It's super, super exciting. As some may know, Nextgen has had an awesome, long-standing, thriving partnership with the team over at Dell Technologies. They know all about being able to help out young entrepreneurs and get them feeling good about the business that they're building, so that they can keep going, so that like we've been saying, they can springboard out of bed in the morning. So Dell has so kind of been able to arrange a keynote session with the amazing Jasmine Crowe. I'm not even going to spoil any of the details. You just got to get your ticket. I see Dylan in the comments. Mobilaji, I'm giving him a shout out. Mobilaji, Lucas, Marcus, everybody from the Dell team. We are so excited for all of these keynote sessions. Jasmine is going to be amazing. Don't look up her story. Get ready for what it's going to be. Get your ticket. Drop that link in the comments. We'll see you there for sure.
We have people getting very excited. I see Paul and Sophie are going to steal the show during the community chats. So if you can't make it into their Zoom rooms, there's a reason, because everyone wants in on them.
Honored.
Nice.
Malachi.
I know that we are quickly running out of time for this Live with Nextgen HQ, but y'all, you heard it. Two major things behind NGS at Home: community chats, those one-on-one conversations that you want to be having every single day. We've got 3 keynote speakers. We have right around, I think, 20 breakout speaker sessions that are going to be going on, all going to be accessible to you throughout the day and past, because you'll have access to recorded content. There might be this little thing called Momentum Magazine coming to all of our attendees' mailbox right after. So if you ever wanted to hold momentum in your hands, actually tangibly feel it, this magazine is going to be meant for you. There's fantastic community members, there's industry experts, there's one-on-one tricks and tips and techniques all coming to you in a premium magazine form. So we're excited for that. And then, of course, it's just the general shenanigans of Nextgen HQ, of so much momentum coming to you at your door next Thursday. Again, we will keep repeating that over the next few days just to make sure that you have it down pat. So I will end this all with one more quick wrap up. What are you most excited for? That one like shining gem for you as far as NGS at Home goes. Andrew, I'll kick it over to you first.
I mean, come on. My alarm is going to be set 3 a.m. on the day of NGS. I'm not going to sleep the night before. You are here. What are you doing with your Thursday? It's going to be the best day ever. It's going to change the game for digital events for the future. So we're going to be talking about the future of content. Speak about the future of digital events. This is it. This is it right here. You're going to see me. You're going to see Sophie, Paul, Rachel. We're all going to be there. I mean, if that's not a selling point enough, we also got Ray Dalio. Might be another selling point, but I cannot be more excited to honestly just feel like at the end of the day, I need a vacation from all the momentum. So I'm pumped. I mean, Dylan said in the comments, Rach, tickets must be $1 million for this. How the heck how much is this thing?
Tickets are definitely not $1 million. They're actually priced at $24.95 currently. And by the way, if you're subscribed to our roundup, we got a discount code in your inbox this past Monday, just for your information to let you know. But no matter where you're at, we wanted to make sure that this was accessible to everyone. Look, we all feel it. We're all entrepreneurs. Our pockets are not incredibly deep. I can't wait for the day that they are. But as of this point, we wanted to make sure that all of you can get there. So for $24.95, if there are any kind of situations or occurrences that you need a little bit more help, reach out to one of us. We are here. Paul, what's your favorite thing you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I have to say I'm looking forward to that keynote speaker, because here's the thing with my chat that I'm having is going to be talking digital assets, and everyone in the digital asset community is waiting for Ray to just say the word Bitcoin. I hope he does it, which I know he probably won't, but it'll be amazing if he did. But I'm looking forward to that. I'll last wrap up. I do want to leave 2 points that I wish I could see. And that is one, see Dylan doing the whip and nay the way he did during the first event. That would have been amazing. You guys should have saw it. I will pull the video and put it somewhere so you can see it. Awesome.
Please do.
The last piece is everybody that's attending right now, if you're listening, you're going to get a special treat that nobody else knows about. Go to go to YouTube and search for Dylan Gambardella, and you'll find a video when he's like in the 8th grade.
Oh no, Paul.
I was on the edge of my seat.
We may have lost.
So I guess we just have to find it on YouTube to find out.
You want to find it, but
that's exactly it. Gotta go to YouTube. We'll see if Paul can come back to us. There is a very exciting video, and I do believe that I know which one Paul is talking about there. So we'll let you take us home.
Okay, I hope Paul comes back at some point. Oh,
I'm sorry.
Paul, did you want to add anything before I hop in?
No, you're good. You're good. Go.
Okay, well, I'm so excited to search that on YouTube. It's so hard to pick one thing that I'm looking forward to, because I think this is the can't miss event of 2020. I think for me, I'm all about unification, bringing people together, making the world feel smaller. And Nextgen is really a family. And it's that one time every year where everyone gets together and you get to catch up and get connected with new people. And so I think just that feeling of everyone coming together in one place, especially at a time right now where we don't even know when we're going to be with our people again, is so important. And so I'm just so excited to be with my Nextgen people and feel that love and energy and momentum that will carry throughout the rest of what has been a tumultuous year.
That is exactly it. There's a reason that everyone on this video chat just said something very similar. It's the people. It's the people who matter, who make your experience in your life so much fuller. And with maybe some other digital events that you've gone to, that element hasn't been there. You've had to click play on things. You've had to just download packets and spreadsheets and all that fun stuff. This is not what NGS at Home is. NGS at Home is a virtual summit, bringing you the relationships, the knowledge, the inspiration, and the momentum that you need. So make sure to grab your ticket, $24.95. All of us will be there. We want to see you there. Paul, Sophie, Andrew, thank you so much, guys, for being on this today. This is going to be one where I go back to and just watch and smile.
Thank you so much. Lovely seeing all of your faces, too. It's been a while.
Thanks so much.
We love you all, and we'll see you at NGS at Home.
Yay!